Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Sara Karami, PhD student at the University of Coimbra. And our research paper is about towards an applicable digital building logbook data model. In this paper, we evaluated the relevance of the current DBL models in DBL functions. Actually, we investigated how much the DBL models are applicable in DBL functions. Okay, yes. According to European Commission study and also Global Alliance and Global Alliance and Building Construction Report, the main functions of the DBLs are including storing and managing static and dynamic building information. It can be used for monitoring building energy consumption for the whole life cycle of the buildings, and also is a good repository to monitor the maintenance activities, and it also provides reports to access the finance information. And also it can be used for storing and managing the building material data, and also could be integrated with the building information model. After identifying the main functionalities of the DBL, we investigated the relevance of the current DBL models in those functions, how much they are applicable in the DBL functions. And then we identify, because we wanted to see what are the main representative elements of the DBL models in terms of the number of reputation by different DBL models. And then we investigated the main functionalities of those representative elements. Then we compare the DBL functions with the main functions of those representative elements. As you can see in this table, we computed the contribution of DBL data models in different DBL functions. For instance, the European study, in terms of the storing administrative information, they provided only 4% information. Extendo project, it was about 2%, and EUB model, that is the new model, and was published in 2023. They just provided only 1% information regarding the administrative function. And also, some functionalities, like integrating with building information model, only was mentioned by EUB project, and it was around 7%. And as you can see, the overall percentage of the contribution of DBL models in DBL functions is very low, and only the storing information with around 20%, and also accessing to energy bills with around 13% were the most functions of the DBL models. And because of the lack of definition, the main definition of the main requirements of the DBL functions, this is the reason of the low contribution of DBL models in DBL functions. We also calculated the representative elements of the DBL functions, and you can see the distribution of representative elements. As you can see, the date of construction and also the number of the bedrooms were the most representative elements. Actually, we calculated by the number of the repetition by different data models. For instance, the date of construction was repeated and mentioned by different, at least 7 data models. Then we wanted to see what are the main functions of these representative elements. Then we started to search the name of the elements, and then we reached to some papers. For instance, the ownership type was used for analyzing the role of investment in renovation and energy performance, or the floor area was used for predicting annual building energy consumption, or the number of floors was used for enhancing cost estimation of buildings. And also it was for all representative elements, it was repeated. And our result clearly showed that there is a low percentage contribution of DBL models in DBL functions. As I mentioned at the beginning, only storing construction information with average around 22%, and access into energy bills with around 14%, and monitoring energy consumption with around 12% were the most common DBL data model functions. And we also identified the representative elements. And then when we started to search about the functionalities of these DBL elements, some new functions just comes out, and they didn't define or mention in the DBL functions. And it's because of the incomplete definition of the DBL functions. This functionality was about including the optimizing envelope data or predicting load energy. It's not considered in the main DBL functions. And the main result of this paper is about there is a lack of alignment between DBL functions and the DBL element functions. Only monitoring energy consumption just could be considered consistent with the simulating energy consumption as the most common function of the DBL elements. And the main functionality of the DBL elements was about monitoring and modeling the energy consumption. Our future work will be about to integrate the current DBL models, because in our previous research, we showed that there are different DBL models, that they propose different DBL elements and classify them in different categories, and it's due to the different functions, and we will integrate these DBL models, and then we will evaluate the performance of this integrated model in different DBL functions. The current DBL models also, they didn't include the dynamic data, as it's very important to propose digital twin or for predicting maintenance activities. We will include the dynamic data, and we hopefully we could develop an applicable DBL model for the whole life cycle of the buildings. Thank you for your attention.